All right. So this month, we are focused on the 4 disciplines of execution for realtors. And we know that we brought together, again, I mentioned that last year we were on Tuesdays and we were titled Tuesdays. And I had always had the concept of for closing sake, because of where I sit as a closing attorney, I get to see all the different nuances and all the different issues and get all the questions, as well as play a mediator, right? And so when issues come up, I'm always like, listen, for closing sake, I mean, to get us to closing, can we just resolve this, right? And so because I always say that, I said, you know what? I'm going all in with it. And so our new topic, our new title for 2022 is for closing sake. Now, our mission is still the same. The mission is absolutely still the same. It is to provide a weekly coaching call for realtors to discuss the latest trends and need to know information to grow your business, If you guys know, I teach classes on the technical side of our real estate practice all the time. But guess what? As one of the partners used to say, this is not a charity. And I'm sure you guys are in this, that you want to help people sell and purchase homes, and you want to do that for profit, right? So this is designed to help you grow your business. For those who I haven't had an opportunity to meet before, a little bit about myself and my background. My name is Racole Jackson. I am the founder of Title Xperts. As far as my educational background, I didn't attend the University of Florida, where I got my bachelor's degree, so go Gators. I went off to California and obtained my law degree, where I was also the founder of the Real Estate Law Society there at UF. It was a professional group for law students who had a special interest in real estate. And then finally came back to Miami, got my LLM in real property development from University of Miami School of Law and Real Property Development. And finally, I am a licensed real estate salesperson, licensed here in Florida. My first license was actually in California during law school. Now, quick commercial break. This webinar is powered by Title Xperts. Obviously, that is our title company. And that gives us the opportunity to, they give me the opportunity, I always say each week, to jump out of working with them to get files to the closing table, to have this discussion with our realtor partners. For those who have not had an opportunity to work with us before, we obviously welcome you to the opportunity to work with Title Xperts. We are an attorney managed firm, so that's me and my partner. You are provided a dedicated closing team, weekly status updates, regular updates, helpful closing guides, and rush processing is absolutely available. Now on the screen here, you see some of the closing team. For those who, again, you might be going on the contract, right? If you're a listing agent, you'll be going on the contract very soon. New contracts are sent to contracts@titlexperts.com. General questions are sent to closings@titlexperts.com. And we are very proud of our 800 number, 8665 Xperts. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. All right. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Again, all this month, we are talking about the 4 disciplines of execution for realtors, how to accomplish your business goals in 2022. How to accomplish your business goals in 2022. So not just what are the goals, but how to accomplish them, how to get to December 31st, 2022 and say, you know what? Be able to check off the box and say, I accomplished my goals. That's what this is all about, right? And then the title, I got to tell you, is based on the book, The 4 Disciplines of Execution. You might have heard of it before. It's a book by Sean Covey. And this book, I will tell you, it's written more towards the larger organizations, right? However, as you've always heard me mention, running a business and the fundamentals of operating a business are all the same. Now, the complexity of those fundamentals obviously change based on the scale and the size of your business. But at the end of the day, every business has the same fundamental requirements to be successful. Now, what I know for sure is that real estate school taught you how to get your license. They absolutely did not teach you how to run a business, at least not the one I went to. If yours did, great, mine did not. And so constantly I'm seeing over and over and over again, realtors that they struggle. All business owners are going to struggle in this area without coaching. You're not born knowing how to run a business. It just doesn't happen, right? But certainly there's a gap between real estate school and the actual real estate business. So that's what these conversations are about. How to become the CEO and operate as a CEO of your own real estate business. You're more than an agent. You're an agent CEO. So when you put that hat on and you realize, I don't just sell real estate. I'm operating a business. This is my business. This is my real estate business that I own and operate. And so I want you to think that way. Now, recap from last week. We remember that the definition of execution is to carry out or put a plan or course of action in effect, right? That's what execution is. That's the definition of execution. To carry out or put a plan of or course of action in effect. That's execution. Now, why focus on execution? Every month, every January, really starting at the end of the prior year, invariably, there's business planning classes. You could throw a rock and you'll hit one. Everybody's doing business planning classes. But if you don't execute, we wasted our time. We got excited about a bunch of ideas and here's what I could do, here's what I should do. But ideas do not make you rich. The correct execution of ideas does. I'm telling you. And so one thing I always say, and people say, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Exactly, Marcia. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm preaching to myself. This is absolutely one of our fundamental goals for our businesses this year, and that's execution. We're not leaving any important goal on the table this year. And so it only made sense that we have this discussion with our realtor partners. And here's the deal. I just want to give you a little bit of grace and let you know that if you struggle with execution, you're not the only one. Many people do. As a matter of fact, most people do. And that's why you have the 1%, right? That's why you have the ones that make the most money. That's what this is all about, right? The ones that are making the money are the ones that are executing. And based on your level of execution will determine your level of return. So when you realize that execution is equally as important as planning, after you write that plan, immediately jump into a course on how am I going to execute this plan? Immediately, right? Because implementation precedes income. Everything about your business plan leads to the closing table, right? Everything about your plan leads to a commission check, I'm hoping, right? I mean, I'm sure there's some other parts to it, but one of those fundamentals is commission, income. But implementation of that business plan precedes the income all day long. Nobody's going to say, you know how you go to school and you write a plan and they say, oh, this is an amazing business plan. Here's a commission check. Nope, sorry, it doesn't happen that way. They do not give out commission checks for brilliantly written business plans. They do not. When you execute on it, they absolutely do. So, ideas are yesterday. Ideas are yesterday. Execution is today, and excellence will see you tomorrow. Ideas are yesterday. We wrote the business plan. Execution is today. Execution is today, and excellence will see you tomorrow. Your level of execution determines your results. You execute 50%, you'll get a 50% return. You execute 110%, you're going to get 110% return. Of course. Plan your execution and then execute your plan. Plan your execution and then execute your plan. Remember, any business planning class, it must have a component of planning and then execution. If not, we cheated you. We didn't give you all the facts. We didn't tell you the truth, right? So today our discussion is on focus, because the first discipline in the 4 disciplines of execution, how do we get to execution? How do we get to execution of our goal? The first thing is we have to focus. We have to focus. There are so many distractions. There are so many distractions. There are so many distractions. Everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, there is some type of distraction. And you've heard this before, and I hope that it drives the point home again to you today, that all the distractions that you see are generally everyone else's priorities coming at you. So which is going to win? Theirs or yours? That text message is someone else's priority. That email is someone else's priority. That phone call is someone else's priority. So you have to figure out how to focus on your priorities so that you can get to execution. And then, more importantly, we have to focus on what's important. This is the higher level of focus. This is the higher level of focus as it relates to the 4 disciplines of execution. This is a germane point of focus. And that is, as it relates to your business, what's most important to your business right now. The more that you try to do, the less you'll actually accomplish. You ever heard the term herding cats? If you try and catch every cat that's hopping around, you're probably not going to get any of them. Stop trying to herd cats. What is most important? Because guess what? There will always, you guys are entrepreneurs. If you have a real estate business, you are an entrepreneur. That means that you are inherently an idea-based person. You are inherently optimistic. You are inherently can do, we should do, we will do. That's just how you're wired. And so these disciplines of execution, though, are going to rein that in and actually focus you so that you get the results that you desire. You're always going to have a lot of good ideas. And invariably, it's going to be more than you have the time or capacity to execute. That's just it. So that's why the first discipline of execution is to focus on what is important. What's important? And it's going to require that you learn how to say no. You're going to have to learn how to say no to some things. You're going to have to learn how to say no to some things, some people, some ideas, some concepts, right? Even some opportunities if they don't line up. And here's why. You have 24 hours in a day. And I'm going to tell you this. I've had my own business will be 10 years. I was a managing attorney with the firm for years, 7 years. Had my own firm for 10 years. And it finally clicked to me last year. Racole, you have 24 hours in a day. If you say yes to that, what is it going to displace? You only got 24. You're not going to get it. I can't buy more time. There's ways to buy more time. We'll talk about that later. But in general, I can say, well, here you go. Let me buy another hour. Give me 25 because I told such and such that I'll jump on this call with them. It doesn't work that way. You get 24. And if you have something scheduled or something that must happen, if you allow something else to come in, it has to displace something else. So your thought process has to be, when something else tries to come into your schedule, what is this going to displace? And if I'm allowing it to displace it, that better mean it's more important than what was on my schedule. Yeah, you got to focus. So to implement discipline number one of focus, you start by identifying the most significant tasks or goals for your business at this time. At this time, again, we're talking about implementing, executing, accomplishing our business goals. Based on your business goals and where you are right now, what's most important at this time? It all depends on where you are. Let's say, for example, you're at a point where you need an assistant. That's a business focus. That's a goal that you need to address at this time. So that means, you know, a new CRM, a new logo, new colors. That's not important. That's not important. The goal for this year is to get an admin in place and trained to give me more time, to give me leverage. You can't, yeah, a new CRM would be great, all those things, but guess what? You cannot accomplish everything all at once. What's most important now? Right? Now, as the head of your business, there are going to be fires. You guys have heard that before. You got fires you got to put out. Oh, this inspection report came back terrible. I don't have loan approval yet. My buyer's getting cold feet. You know, this agent is all of a sudden my worst enemy. It's all types of things that come up. A pipe burst, right? Even your personal life. You know, someone got sick, someone was exposed, teacher, you know, COVID and all these other things that are coming up. Not enough staffing here, so this can't happen. Equipment can't come there right now. Speaking of everyone's life, Luanda. So those are going to come up. So focus is about not becoming distracted by the minor things, such as you start switching paths and never execute your initial goals. So things are going to come up in life. All those different small things are going to come up in life. And so you need to focus as it relates to that. But focusing as it relates to your business, guys, is so you don't start switching lanes. You don't start switching gears and like, you know what? Your goal was to hire an admin. All of a sudden, someone showed you something else. They said you should get a new CRM and you've forgotten about hiring the admin that should manage the CRM. You got to focus. That phone call with someone else's priority to sell you a new CRM, or that phone call with someone else's priority to promise to get you first page on Zillow, I don't know. That's a distraction. And the definition of a distraction is a thing that prevents someone from giving their full attention to something else. If it prevents you from giving your full attention to your priority, it is absolutely a distraction. And let me tell you, in order to accomplish your business goals in 2022 and beyond, you have to be able to quickly determine what's a distraction. This is a distraction. This is not important. We need to put this to the side. I always call things like that. I say those are whiteboard matters. That means you put it on a whiteboard and you get back to it. Doesn't mean you don't notate the idea. I'm not telling you to abandon the idea, guys, that are going to come up throughout this year. I'm telling you to focus on what you've already taken the time to identify as a necessity for your business. You've already said it is absolutely important that I get an admin hired and trained in my business this year. If not, I will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, if I do not get an admin in my business this year. What's important? Anything else is a distraction. It's someone else's priority. So what helps with focus? What helps with focus? What helps with focus? What helps with focus? Time blocking. And you know, Again, you have business goals. You're going to have to block out time. That means setting your schedule. My schedule is set. If you, I laugh because my husband tells me to turn my alarms off. I have alarms for everything. You guys have probably heard me say this before. My day is alarmed out for everything. If someone sends me something, and again, this was based on my revelation just late last year, Racole, you have 24 hours. If someone asks you to do something, it forced me. I have my day planned out in my phone and my calendar. It forced me to make a decision to displace something with another. I suggest you do that. Set your calendar. If someone says, hey, can I give you a call at 3? If on your calendar at 3 o'clock, it says that you are, following up with past clients, it's going to force you to say, this phone call with Ed at 3 o'clock is more important than following up with past clients to generate new business. Time block your day. Either you run the day or the day runs you. You only get 365. You're going to look up, half of them are going to be gone, and that goal is still going to be sitting there. So focus. Schedule your day. And then once you're in that time block, turn off your phone. Unless you're dialing, obviously. Turn off your phone, because here again, text messages, emails, all these different things are going to come in and distract you. Turn off your phone, turn off the TV, lock your door if you have to, so that you can focus during that time period. The other thing that helps with focus, go into your work environment. Go into your work environment. Some people can work from home in their bed. Yeah, that works here and there for me, honestly. But generally, I'm in my office. I am always in my office. During COVID, everyone else went home. I was in the office. That's just how I focused. I took no days off during COVID. I stayed home not one day during COVID. I was in the office. You all can go home. I'm going to be in the office. So you have to figure out your work environment. If it's going into the office, if it's your home office, if it's outside. But I suggest you create an environment that's specifically for work, and that's going to allow you to focus on your goals for this year. And then the last thing that's going to help you focus is your business plan. That was very basic, right? That's like, oh yeah, my business plan. Your business plan is your direction. It is your instructions on how you're going to get to your end goal. So for example, last night I did a coaching call, and a number that was thrown out, the goal was $500,000 gross revenue income at the end of the year. And so we came up with the number, an average, if you utilize the average sales price of the property, $250,000 with 3% average commission, that's about $7,500 GCI, gross commission income per transaction. That puts you at, I think she was at 6. She needed 6 transactions per month in order to hit that number. So 500,000 is broad. That's general. Let me check my math. Yep, 5.5. We rounded up, told her to shoot up. She could always hit low. So 5.5. The point is, your business plan keeps you on track. It's just like your GPS. If your business plan says my income goal is 500,000 gross commission income for the year, I know that means I need to hit 5.5, rounded up 6 transactions per month with a $250,000 average sales price, 3% commission. That keeps you focused, right? That keeps you focused, because if you don't hit that 6 transactions in January, You're like, oh, I'm not on track. That should wake you up. I am not on track. If you only hit 2, God forbid you hit just 1, you are like, I am way behind, right? So the business plan is going to keep you focused. If you have not already written your business plan, I am still have not done this yet. I am toying with whether after this month, we're going to move into a business plan, because I still know that people have not written a business plan yet. So you guys let me know. Let me know in the chat if we need to transition to doing a business plan after we go over this, right? When you have your business plan, you're quickly able to determine the tasks that are aligned with your priorities and those that are a distraction. Everybody's saying they have it. That's fine. We'll do it. We'll do it. So when you have a business plan, you can quickly say, again, my business plan, along with your business plan, again, we're going to use the same $500,000 gross commission income goal, but we also know that a key component for the operations piece of our business, because generally your business is going to have 3 components. 1 is the income goal, 2 is operations, 3 is education. So we know that our income goal is 500,000. Our operations goal is to get this admin on, and the education, maybe it's Airbnb. How to assist your clients with facilitating an Airbnb. Investment, maybe learning how to work with investors. Maybe you want to add working with luxury clients, right? So if your operations goal is to bring on this admin, and again, using the same hypothetical, someone calls you talking about your CRM, that's operations. That falls in the operations column. That's a distraction. That's not the priority. The priority is finding my leverage. Because if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. Hello, somebody. If you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. So having a business plan will help you quickly identify those things that are a distraction. So the homework was to review your business plan. Some have them, and some we will develop them. In reviewing your business plan, what's your most important task based on your business plan? What is most important? What is most important? Again, because it's going to give you the opportunity to determine what's the distraction. Where are the distractions? You guys, they had this meme where people were like blocking negative energy or something like that. You have to block distractions, right? Lead gen, I love it. That's important. You don't have a business without leads. Leads is money. All right. So next week, discipline number 2 is lead measures. That's what the book calls it. Guess what it means for us? Income producing activities first. Make it plain. Discipline number 2 of the 4 disciplines of execution is lead measures. It is saying, like we talked about last week, and this lead gen is one of it. It's exactly what Marshall just said. What do you need to focus on first? What leads you into income? What leads you into productivity? What leads you into your desired outcome? Lead measure. That's what we're going to talk about next week. What's the most important for next week? Marshall has her hand raised. Does that mean you want to say something, Marshall? We do have it on webinar feature because we were not dealing with mics this year. See how we learn and grow? You can drop in the chat if you needed to say something. What is the name? Okay, where is it? It's the 4 disciplines of execution. Here it is. You see that? Now, again, I'm going to tell you, this is written for organizations, but you can still read it. I got this book, 2 years ago, and I used it for my business. And again, I just took it and simplified it to apply it to a realtor small business. You guys, you're operating a small business. Hello, just in case you didn't know. So it's the 4 disciplines of execution for your business. All right. So next week, we're talking about discipline 2, income producing activity first. So In closing, because that's the other thing I determined this year, we're going to keep it 30 minutes, keep you in and out. Because again, it's all about execution. I'm going to give you guys the information and then you're going to execute. Half and half. We used to run about an hour last year, not anymore. We're going to information and then I need you to implement. So in closing, guys, having a vision for what you want is not enough. Vision without execution is hallucination. And that quote is from Thomas Edison. Having a vision for what you want is not enough. Vision without execution is hallucination. Visions of $500,000 in gross income without doing the work is hallucination. It's not going to happen. Visions of owning and operating your business with a full-time admin or support so that you can focus on what you envision doing as a realtor, meeting with sellers, meeting with buyers. If you don't do the work, it's hallucination. It's not going to happen. So having a vision for what you want is not enough, because vision without execution is hallucination. All right, guys, I hope that you're even more empowered, more encouraged, more convicted to execute on your goals for this year.